Sino ang isa sa mga nagbibigay kulay sa ating buhay? At ito ang nagbibigay daan para makamit natin ang ating mga success at magtagumpay tayo sa ating buhay din.
Kaya naman, ngayong umaga, tayo na't ma-inspire sa isang Filipino artist na nagtagumpay sa kanyang larangan. Let us all welcome Mr. Christian Bulos, visual artist and tattooist, Filipino-Australian of Melbourne. Good morning and welcome to Bagong Pilipinas. Hi!
Good morning!
Naka-accent tuloy ako. Hello!
So, Sir Christian, the path that you decided to take, which is visual art, it's not a very safe thing to do, right? So prior to this, were you doing something else aside from being a visual artist?
I studied law.
Wow!
Because my dad is a solicitor and also my mum's a nurse, so very academically, bound. But I think it was, for me, it was like, for my heart, I had to do something. I could do law, I could do all of that, but something else yearned. So
the passion.
The passion yearned. I was also doing finance and banking, so I was with two big banks in Australia, in Melbourne. So I was there for 12 years. And there was still something longing. Art has always been there, so I've always drawn since I was a young boy. And I had to change because I had to tell my kids that, if they want to be, to do something that they're happy with, then they have to follow what they love to do. So that's why I'm doing what I want to do, so I can prove to them that you can be successful at it. Yeah.
Christian, are you born and raised in Australia?
I was born and raised actually in Cabanatuan, in Cabanatuan, Nueva Ecija. So, I went to Melbourne, I guess, with my parents when I was 8 years old.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's a very good advice to your children, to just follow your dreams and whatever makes them happy. And kanina we can see through our screens your art. Can you tell us more about siguro the medium of your arts and everything?
Well, I started with oil paints. I used to do realism. I used to do a lot of paintings with landscapes. And then I wanted to change it, moved on to something different. Then I always go back to pencil and paper and always go to like my Sharpie pens and I just always kept drawing with a pencil and a paper and also pens. Yeah.
So Christian, going back to you switching jobs in the middle of your life, was that a very scary decision to make?
It was. Financially, we were doing great.
Of course,
very good.
Yes.
But bought the house and we had the kid, like my son. But it was also time. I think that was really hard was the transition of me being someone professional to someone that's willing to take a risk for something that I
Unknown.
might not,
It's like
that
a
might
road
not have
less
any
traveled.
reward.
Yes.
So that was the hardest thing, but it was always time with my kids that I always thought of as well, because when you work hard in the corporate world, you lose time with your family. So I had to really decide to see whether or not it's all worth it. Tsaka, I don't want to sound hypocrite to my kids when I tell them, boys, do something that you love, and then one day they say back to me, Dad, you keep telling us to do something we love, how come you never did yours?
So what was the turning point when you decided
Turning
to,
point was when my son actually was only, I think, 8 months old. And I said, I have to do something, because I would leave to go to work very early and then I'd come back home and he's asleep. So I had no time. That was one of the biggest turning point is that for me. Plus also I always wanted to follow what was in my heart to continue to to draw and to create. And like you said, my passion it always goes through, whether or not you're a writer, you're a dancer, you're an actor even. Like, there's a lot of actors in Hollywood that were broke for a long time until they broke through. Yeah, so I thought I had to, do something the same. Like if it's going to be worth it later, which it has.
Given that I get the impression that your family is very into the corporate world. Am I
Yes,
correct?
yeah.
So who did you get the inspiration from to transfer?
Inspiration, I think it's
Just your own?
yeah. I've always been self-taught as well as an artist. There's probably art in our blood, but it's mainly maybe in my dad's side. Yeah. So, but I think it's always been there with me. Yeah. Academically, I could do the things that needs to be done, but there's no reward for me. So, yeah.
But you did not fail, as a visual artist and a tattooist because you're very successful. You bring inspiration to many, even to your
Yeah,
children.
definitely.
And now you're here on TV giving, inspirational talks
right?
to everyone.
Yeah,
And
this
he's
is
even
amazing.
he's gonna have an event later, Carla.
Wow. Can you tell us more about the event?
So the event is basically my first ever solo exhibition here in the Philippines, and it's been a long time since I think 2008 since I've held an exhibition. So this is something new for me, and it's something. Yeah, no, I want to do more because I've always wanted to come back to the Philippines and do something. And the exhibition in itself is called Transition. It's basically majority of the subject matters are done by both creation for myself and my clients. So majority of the artwork I've already tattooed. So paper to skin.
Wow.
Yeah. So the designs in itself, it's mainly a collaboration between myself and my client. Yeah.
So on this note, Christian, it's our pleasure to have you in the show.
Thank you
and
very much.
we wish the televiewers to check out his
Exhibit.
exhibit tonight.
Definitely.
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for joining
thank you.
us
Alright.
this morning. Muli nakapanayan po natin Christian Bulos, isang visual artist at tattooist, Filipino-Australian artist of Melbourne.